trail off in the middle of a thought I'm trying to find. Most people fill the silence with their version of my mind. You don't, you stay completely still, hands folded, eyes on me, waiting like the answer is something only I can see. And I should take my time. Sometimes I forget what I was saying, and you ask me where I've been. You don't make me feel embarrassed for losing track of the in-between. You just gently lead me back to the thread I had let go. And I find it because you waited and let me know it wasn't lost, it was just slow. You wait until I finish my sentence, and no one ever did that before. You wait until I finish my sentence, like the rest of mine could be at the door. And you'd hold it open for me until I could walk it through. You wait until I finish my sentence, and that's the rarest thing that anyone could ever do. You wait, you actually wait. The world rushes the speakers, the world finishes the line. The world hands you a different sentence than the one that you designed. You're the only person who lets me have my own voice. You wait until I find the word, you don't make my words your choice. You wait until I finish my sentence, and no one ever did that before. You wait until I finish my sentence, like the rest of mine could be at the door. And you'd hold it open for me until I could walk it through. You wait until I finish my sentence, and that's the rarest thing that anyone could ever do. You wait, you actually wait. This is what listening is, and almost nobody does it. This is what listening is, and the world's lost the gift of it. You give me the entire pause, you give me the whole space. You wait until I finish my sentence, and I get to find my face. I get to find my voice. You wait until I finish my sentence, and every word feels like mine. You wait until I finish my sentence, and I'm finally not behind. Some imagined timer in my head, some pressure to be quick. Oh, you wait until I finish my sentence, and in that wait I am completely whole, completely thick, with my own meaning. Mine. You wait until I finish. And now I can speak without rushing, without performing. I just say what I mean, and you're still there. calls you something sweet. Your friends have their version too. Your boss has one that sounds complete, but none of them have heard the syllable that's only mine, the one that slipped out by mistake and stayed because it felt like light. The name only I call you lives in a language built for two. The name only I call you is the closest thing I have to prove that we created something private in a world that shares it all. The name only I call you is my favorite word to say at all. It started as a joke one evening, something silly, something small, but you lit up when I said it, like you'd been waiting for that call. Now it's how I wake you gently, how I calm you when you're scared, how I find you in a crowded room without a single stare. The name only I call you lives in a language built for two. The name only I call you is the closest thing I have to prove that we created something private in a world that shares it all. The name only I call you is my favorite word to say at all. Everyone deserves a word that only one voice ever speaks, a sound that means I see you, I chose you, you're unique. Not a title, not a label, just a whisper in the dark that opens every door you have and goes straight to the heart. The name only I call you, I'll say it till my very last breath. The name only I call you will outlive every single word I've said, because it carries everything, the laughter and the tears. The name only I call you is the story of our years, the story of our years. The name only I call you. Come here, let me whisper it again, just for you, always just for you.
Not in the first kiss, not in the flame, but in the mornings, love learned your name. In the coffee cooling
how forever sounds. Not in a shout, but in the quiet when the whole world narrows down. Still choosing you through every year that moves. If love is more than a moment, then love is what we do. You saw the faults I couldn't hide, the tired edges and the damaged pride. You never asked for perfect light, you only asked that I stay through the night. And when my faith went thin, you held the shape of it. Still choosing you, that's how forever sounds. Not in a shout, but in the quiet when the whole world narrows down. Still choosing you through every year that moves. If love is more than a moment, then love is what we do. No silver throne, no anthem sky, just your hand reaching every time. Still choosing you when winter hits the glass. Still choosing you when bright things pass. Still choosing you and letting that be enough. Because forever isn't something said, it's something done in love. Tonight, tomorrow, again. Stain on the kitchen glass, spoon against the cup. You stood there in your quiet shirt and waited while I opened up. No audience, no bride event, just stove light on your wrist. And every hurt I carried it, growing smaller in the mist. Tea after midnight, stay warm with me. If words go missing, let breathing be. low light, slow air. You're already everywhere. Curtains breathing in the dark, blue lamp leaning soft and warm, your shadow moving through the room like something silk and half in bloom. No hurry in the way you turn, no wasted word, no need to burn. You let the silence do its part and move like music through my heart. Come closer, don't break the view. The whole night looks better on you. Low light on your skin, that's where the night begins. Soft enough to pull me in, slow enough to stay. Low light on your skin, every breath feels paper thin, like one touch could let love in and wash the dark away. Your fingers tracing on the glass, rain outside but we outlast. The city hums beneath the floor, but I don't hear it anymore. You say my name without a rush, and everything in me turns hush. I never knew a room this small could make the whole wide world feel full. Stay near, don't speak too soon. I want the whole blue hour to bloom. Low light on your skin, that's where the night begins. Soft enough to pull me in, slow enough to stay. Low light on your skin, every breath feels paper thin, like one touch could let love in and wash the dark away. No bright promises, no daylight claims, just the warmth of our unguarded names. If love can live in velvet air, then I have found it waiting here. Low light on your skin, still turning midnight into wind, still making all my edges thin, still making me believe. Low light on your skin, the safest danger I've been in. If this is where the night gives in, then let it give to me. The room stayed blue, and so did we. Told you about the year that almost broke me. I gave you the version with the cracks all showing. I half expected you to flinch or change the subject quick, but you took it gently in your hands, like a thing too precious to risk. I told you about my father, the version they don't tell at parties. You didn't simplify the story. You didn't ask me to make it easy. You held the complicated truth the way I'd never been allowed by anyone to hold it home without flinching at the sound. You hold my history like it's yours without trying to rewrite a thing. You hold my history like it's yours, and you carry it so carefully. You don't tell me to forget, you don't tell me to move on. You just take my whole self in, including everything that's gone, everything that came before. I told you about the people who shaped me badly long ago. You didn't try to call them out. You didn't try to make me know that you'd be different from them. You just sat in their wreckage with me and helped me realize that they didn't have the final say in me. You hold my history like it's yours without trying to rewrite a thing. You hold my history like it's yours, and you carry it so carefully. You don't tell me to forget, you don't tell me to move on. You just take my whole self in, including everything that's gone, everything that came before. Most loves want a clean version, want the story wrapped up neat. You don't ask for an edit, you don't ask me to delete the chapters that were hard. You just read them with me slowly, and by the end of every one, I'm a little less alone with my own holy, most painful pages. You hold my history like it's yours, and I never had to earn that. You hold my history like it's yours, and you didn't ask me to recap the hard parts to make them digestible. You just held them as they were. You hold my history like it's yours, and so my past became less of a blur and more of just my life that brought me here. You hold my history, and it doesn't haunt me anymore. Not as much, not the way it used to, because someone is holding it with me, and I'm not alone with it anymore.
I sat beside you 40 minutes, saying absolutely nothing at all. You went about your evening like the silence wasn't strange to fall. You didn't ask me what was wrong, you didn't make a single guess. You let the quiet stretch around me and gave my mind a place to rest. Some people fill the air with questions, some people need to close the gap. You understand that being quiet isn't always being trapped. It's not a distance, not a warning, not a fight in disguise. Sometimes it's just my soul catching up, and you give me space inside. You let me be quiet, and you don't take it personally. You let me be quiet, and it's the kindest gift you give to me. I've spent my whole life performing, filling silence just to seem fine. You let me be quiet, and in that quiet I am finally mine. I'm finally mine. After enough hours I started talking, slow in pieces, half aligned. You listened like you had been waiting, but not waiting like a kind that made me feel I owed you reasons for the silence I had kept. You just received the words I had and honored every breath. You let me be quiet, and you don't take it personally. You let me be quiet, and it's the kindest gift you give to me. I've spent my whole life performing, filling silence just to seem fine. You let me be quiet, and in that quiet I am finally mine. You don't need me to entertain you, you don't need me to be on. You let me have the dimmer evenings without mistaking them for gone. That kind of patience is so rare, that kind of presence is so gold. You let me be quiet, and in your quiet I unfold. I finally unfold. You let me be quiet, and you stay anyway. You let me be quiet, and you don't make me pay for the times my voice runs out, for the times my words won't come. You let me be quiet, and that's how I know you're the one. The only one. You let me be quiet. Thank you for that, for not needing me to be more than I am right now. I'll talk later, I promise, and you'll listen. No, no more shadows.
still on beside me, even with nobody there. It keeps reminding. Freeway signs flashing slow in gold, your side empty, but your shadow won't go. I keep driving like that means free, but every mile brings you back to me. Passenger light, why are you still on? Love got out, but the glow held on. Passenger light, cold and soft and true. Every road I take at night still fills up with you. Gas station white, motel red, half the life we never lived. The radio hums but never says enough. How some hearts don't break apart, they just fray at the edges of love. No war, no blame, just your face inside the frame. Passenger light, why are you still on? Love got out, but the glow held on. Passenger light, cold and soft and true. Every road I take at night still fills up with you. I don't want the past restored, I don't wait outside your door. But some ghosts don't come to haunt, they come to keep a little warmth. Passenger light, no more shadows, no more hiding tonight. I used to wear my silence like a jacket in the rain. Keep every feeling folded, keep my hands away from change. Then you looked at me so clearly, like you saw through every line. And all the words I used to bury rose up asking for the light. So take my hand, take my name, take the part that never changed. Open heart, no lies, I love you with my whole life. Not in pieces, not in parts, all at once with all my heart. Open heart, no lies, you are the safest thing I've found. If love is just the truth said plain, then this is love, and this is now. No fireworks, no borrowed sky, no perfect line, no grand disguise. Just this pulse, just this voice, just this once in a lifetime choice. Open heart, no lies, I need you like the morning light, like breath, like warmth, like something good that teaches darkness how to turn bright. Open heart, no lies, let the whole world fall away. I never knew love could sound this clear, till I heard my own heart say, no more shadows, only you. Phone light, 1:30, your voice, and then I'm gone. You said, are you awake? Like years were only one breath wide. I heard the rain behind your window, and the ache behind your pride. I didn't ask what changed your mind, I only reached for keys and denim. The whole city blurred to silver the second that you let me in. Red lights, wet signs, your name running through my mind. Drive to you tonight, under all this midnight blue. Every road I ever took was only leading me to you. Drive to you tonight, let the dark turn golden true. If love still lives in one late call, then I'm already driving through. The avenue wore neon fever, the bridge hummed low above the river, and every station on the radio sounded like a hand delivered. I used to make a life from distance, from silence dressed up cool and clean. But one soft crack inside your hello undid everything between. No map, no sleep, just this promise I can keep. Drive to you tonight, under all this midnight blue. Every road I ever took was only leading me to you. Drive to you tonight, let the dark turn golden true. If love still lives in one late call, then I'm already driving through. No speeches, no big goodbye erase, just your voice and all the miles losing shape. If morning comes, let her wait outside. I'm not turning back this time. Drive to you tonight, past every lonely thing I knew, past the bars, the rain, the overpass, and every shade of blue. Drive to you tonight, like my whole heart finally broke through. If you still leave the light on, I'll bring the night to you. Your street, my headlights, one more breath, and I arrive. I never used to slow down for anyone or anything. I thought that moving fast meant I was winning something. Then you taught me how to pause, not with a lesson or a speech, just by standing still beside me, till I noticed what I'd miss. I learned it from you, how to be gentle with my time. I learned it from you, that being soft is not a crime. The way I hold the people close to me, the way I breathe before I speak, I learned it from you. And I'm a better man this week than I was the last. I used to fight my way through sorry like the word would make me small. You showed me how to say it first, and how that's the bravest thing of all. I used to think that love meant giving till you're empty on the floor. You taught me love is also knowing when to close and guard the door. I learned it from you, how to forgive without a score. I learned it from you, that keeping count just starts a war. The way I listen now for real, the way I stay when things get hard. I learned it from you, and you don't even know you're the reason I've come this far. You never sat me down and said, now here's the way to live. You just existed near me, and I absorbed the way you give your patience, your attention, your refusal to be cruel. The finest things about me are the things I stole from you. I learned it from you, how to be quiet and be kind. I learned it from you, that strength is knowing your own mind. And when my children ask me someday where I learned to love this way, I'll tell them everything I know. I learned it watching you each day. I learned it all from you. I learned it from you. Everything good in me started with you. Everything. Crickets in the ditch line, screen door breathing slow. Your mother's flowers leaning where the porch lights glow. We said almost nothing, we didn't have to then. The whole town felt smaller than the space between our hands. A truck rolled by, then midnight settled in. You drew a circle on the rail and asked me where I'd been. I said, mostly nowhere. You smiled like that was fine. Some loves begin softly, like they've got all night. It was porch light season, warm enough to stay, late enough for promises we didn't have to say. Your shoulder near mine, June air in the trees. We were young, we were quiet, and the world was easy. Porch light season still comes back to me. Soft gold, slow hearts, one old wooden swing. Now the road runs faster, the old store's gone dark, but I still know the way there by memory and spark.
words and your silence next to me. Crickets in the ditch line, one star over town. Some nights don't leave you, they just settle down.
Was in a mood again. The traffic didn't move. My patience ran out by 11, and the coffee wasn't smooth. But somewhere past the noise, past everything that pulls me thin, I know that you'll be waiting, and the day can finally end. You're the best part of my day, the moment everything gets soft. You're the best part of my day, when the weight finally falls off. I don't need a vacation, I don't need the world to change. I just need to hear you say, hey, how was your day? You're the best part of my day. You're cooking something simple, humming melodies you made. You don't ask me to be perfect, you just hand me something warm and say, sit down, breathe a little. I already know it's been too long, and just like that, the whole day doesn't feel so wrong. You're the best part of my day, the moment everything gets soft. You're the best part of my day, when the weight finally falls off. I don't need a vacation, I don't need the world to change. I just need to hear you say, hey, how was your day? You're the best part of my day. The world can keep its drama, the deadlines and the race. I'll trade it all for one more evening, falling asleep next to your face, next to your face. You're the best part of my life, not just the day but every night. You're the best part of it all, the big, the small, the rise, the fall. I didn't need a fairy tale, I just needed something real. And you're it, you've always been the best part of everything I feel. Best part of my day. Hey, how was your day? Tell me everything. You were standing at the window, doing something boring with your hand. I was watching you from across the room, like a man who's understanding for the first time that the future doesn't need to be planned in detail. It just needs to be the version where you're standing in the same kind of light. I didn't mean to think it, the thought arrived fully formed. I see my future when I look at you, and the thought was warm, not heavy, not a vow, not a thing I had to say. It was just what I knew, standing there on a Saturday. I see my future when I look at you, and I don't need to define it. I see my future when I look at you, and I've stopped trying to fight it. I used to need a 5-year plan, a list of certainties to hold. I see my future when I look at you, and the unknown doesn't feel cold, it just feels like ours. There are still questions about everything, the career, the move, the where, but the question of who's beside me has been answered fair and clear. You're the sentence in the middle, the constant in the math. I see my future when I look at you, and I don't need the rest of the path. I'll figure it out with you. I see my future when I look at you, and I don't need to define it. I see my future when I look at you, and I've stopped trying to fight it. I used to need a 5-year plan, a list of certainties to hold. I see my future when I look at you, and the unknown doesn't feel cold, it just feels like ours. I used to imagine the future as a place I had to control. Now I see it as a country where you're walking with me home. And the details don't matter, the route, the weather, the rest. I see my future when I look at you, and that's the only address I need on any map. I see my future when I look at you, and I'm not bracing for change. I see my future when I look at you, and I'm not afraid of strange days that haven't happened yet, days that will come with their weight. I see my future when I look at you, and we'll meet whatever's late. We'll meet it side by side. I see my future, and you don't even know. You were just standing there, and I saw the rest of my life. And I smiled, and you turned and asked me what, and I said nothing, but it was everything. for work this morning. where you had been before. Most people would have turned by now, back to coffee, back to phones. You were just there watching, like seeing me leave was its own song. I waved and you waved back. I kept walking, then I turned again. You were still there, smaller now, but waiting for the very end. When I would round the corner and you couldn't see me anymore, you don't rush back to your morning. You give me the whole way to the floor of wherever I am going. You watch me walk away, and you don't turn until I'm gone. You watch me walk away, and it's the smallest thing, but it's the longest love song I've ever been given, the kind that says I see you until I really, really can't. You watch me walk away, and in that watching I am held. At the airport last December, you stayed past security. You didn't have to wait there. You weren't going through with me, but you stood at the glass divider until I disappeared from view. And I cried quietly walking because nobody else has watched me through. You watch me walk away, and you don't turn until I'm gone. You watch me walk away, and it's the smallest thing, but it's the longest love song I've ever been given, the kind that says I see you until I really, really can't. You watch me walk away, and in that watching I am held. The world wants you to be efficient with your goodbyes, your stays. You spend your perfect minutes watching someone walk away, and in that gentle wasting, the love you give is real. You watch me walk away, and in that watching I can feel that I matter, that I really, really matter. You watch me walk away, and I take that with me. You watch me walk away, and every goodbye becomes a small, deliberate vow, a quiet, deliberate sign. You watch me walk away, and I keep going forward now, because you're always at the window, always watching, always mine. You watch me walk away, and you'll be there when I come back. I know it, I always know it. That's the gift. I was not looking when you arrived. I had grown used to empty rooms, to careful nights and quiet truths, to telling myself love was done, a good old song already sung. Then you came in with winter air, and that calm like some people wear. Not trying to save me, not trying to shine, just standing there at the right time. No thunder, no grand surprise, just peace in your eyes. Late but right, that's what you are. Not the first fire, but the truest spark. Late but right, warm in the dark, like all my lost years, led straight to your heart. You never asked me to begin as someone brighter than I'd been. You only let me come in slow and made the whole feel loosen its hold. I used to think that love meant speed, a reckless rush, a wounded need. Now I know it can arrive, soft and sure, and still change a life. So let the past fall out of sight. I don't need early, I need right. Late but right, that's what you are. Not the first fire, but the truest spark. Late but right, warm in the dark, like all my lost years, led straight to your heart. No silver screen, no perfect line, just your hand finding mine. And every wrong road, every night alone, makes sense now, makes sense now. Late but right, now I believe some loves don't rush, they arrive when we can receive. Late but right, if forever starts, it may start quietly, but it still starts in the heart. I was not looking, you were still the answer. I sat alone for an hour today, waiting for the feeling to come, the familiar one I used to greet like a roommate, like an old known song. But it didn't show up the way it used to. It showed up fainter, smaller, weak, like an echo of the loneliness I used to keep. 30 years it lived inside me, my constant, my gravity. And now it's like a language I once spoke fluently, but the words won't come the same. The grammar's gone uncertain. You painted over the wall in me, where I used to hang the curtain. I forgot how to be lonely, and I didn't notice when it left. I forgot how to be lonely. You quietly took it from my chest, replaced it with something steady, something I can carry into rooms. I forgot how to be lonely, and there's nothing here for me to mourn. Not really, not anymore. Sometimes I miss it briefly, like an old friend gone abroad. Not to call, just to acknowledge we grew apart, neither of us flawed. She was the version of me alone. She kept me company for years, but you walked into the apartment and gently moved her out of here. I forgot how to be lonely, and I didn't notice when it left. I forgot how to be lonely. You quietly took it from my chest, replaced it with something steadier, something I can carry into rooms. I forgot how to be lonely, and there's nothing here for me to mourn. Not really, not anymore. The strangest thing about love is it doesn't fix the wound. It just builds something so steady next to it, that the wound becomes a different shape, smaller, quieter, almost decorative. You don't erase the hollow places, you just let me have the rooms where you've been, and the hollow takes up less and less. I forgot how to be lonely, and it's the strangest piece. I forgot how to be lonely, and the world feels less like a beast that used to follow me through cities and whisper that I'd always be alone. I forgot how to be lonely, because I'm finally home. Ooh, finally home. I forgot how to be lonely. That's not nothing, that's everything. That's the proof. You got in without packing the past. Southbound in the dark, 2 bags and a stolen spark. Dashboard glow across your knees, and the whole whole state line between our histories. The city shrinking inside the glass, like something we were built to pass. You laughed and turned the map face down, said let the morning find us out. No safe plan, no second thought, just all the nerve love ever bought. Southbound in the dark, that's where we started. One cheap car, two reckless hearts, and not a thing departed. Southbound in the dark, let the whole world disappear. Every mile we leave behind makes the reason clearer. Truck stop, coffee, motel soap. You're tired, eyes still full of hope. You slept a while against my arm, like danger could be warm. I've never seen you look that free, like leaving was a kind of peace. And every roadside sign we passed felt like permission at last. Young blood, night heat, your hand tapping time against the seat. Southbound in the dark, that's where we started. One cheap car, two reckless hearts, and not a thing departed. Southbound in the dark, let the whole world disappear. Every mile we leave behind makes the reason clearer. If this all falls by daylight, I still won't call it wrong. Some loves need one wild highway just to know where they belong. Southbound in the dark, still running through me now. Every horizon after that still wears your mouth somehow. The tank ran low, we didn't. You got in without packing the past. Southbound in the dark, southbound in the dark, southbound in the dark. Two bags and a stolen spark, dashboard glow across your knees, and a whole state line between our histories. The city shrank inside the glass, like something we were built to pass. You laughed and turned the map face down, said let the morning find us out. No safe plan, no second thought, just all the nerve love ever bought. Southbound in the dark, that's where we started. One cheap car, two reckless hearts, and not a thing departed. Southbound in the dark, let the whole world disappear. Every mile we leave behind makes the reason clearer. You got in without packing the past. Southbound in the dark, southbound in the dark. Two bags and a stolen spark. Southbound in the dark, two bags and a Truck stop coffee, motel soap. You're tired, I still full of hope. You slept a while against my arm, like danger could be warm. I'd never seen you look that free, like leaving was a kind of peace. And every roadside sign we passed felt like permission at last. Young blood, night heat, your hand tapping time against the seat. Southbound in the dark, that's where we started. One cheap car, two reckless hearts, and not a thing departed. Oh, southbound in the dark, let the whole world disappear. Every mile we leave behind makes the reason clearer. If this all falls by daylight, I still won't call it wrong. Some loves need one wild highway just to know where they belong. Southbound in the dark. I'm done with almost, done with maybe, done with holding back tonight. I used to keep my heart half closed, like when a curtain's in the dark. Let people see the careful smile, but never let them touch the spark. And you came in without a warning, soft and sure and nothing fake. And all the walls I built for safety started trembling in their place. So if this sounds too honest, let it. You're the reason I said it. No more almost, no more halfway love. I want your real heart, close enough to touch. No more almost, no more standing still. If you ask me what I want, the answer is you, and always will. You saw the fear behind my laughter, the tired doubt behind my eyes. You never asked me to be stronger, you just stayed and let me try. And every little way you love me makes the truth feel safe to say. Like maybe being fully known was what I needed anyway. So take this voice, take this light, I'm not turning down tonight. No more almost, no more halfway love. I want your real heart, close enough to touch. No more almost, no more standing still. If you ask me what I want, the answer is you, and always will. No big speech, no grand design, just your hand fitting into mine. No perfect world, no perfect time, just something true and something mine. No more almost, no more leaving space. I want the whole sweet truth of you, right here, face to face. No more almost, no more holding still. If love is just one honest choice, then you are mine to choose, and I will. Found your old note in a winter coat, folded thin like a breath you left behind. A phone number, a midnight joke, and the ink gone soft with time. I played that tape from '84, and the room filled up with your perfume ghost. Suddenly the walls were young, and the dark knew every word we sung. Tape is some memory. You come back to me in the static, in the heat, in the spaces in between. We used to dance in the kitchen lights, sock feet sliding through Saturday night. No big money, no grand design, just your cheap red dress and your hand in mine. The refrigerator buzzed in key, streetlight gold through the balcony. We made forever out of ordinary things and called it everything. Tape is memory. Spin me back where we used to be, where the air was warm and the future shone like it would never leave. Tape is memory. Play that ache in a lower key. Let the lost years move like they're still in tune, still in tune with me. Now the turntable leans a little slow, and the city outside has a colder glow. But when that chorus hits, I swear, you're right beside me in a chair. Not as a ghost, not as regret, more like a light I can't forget. More like proof the heart survives by replaying what made it alive. Let it crackle, let it blur, let the old drums thunder, let your voice return. I don't need the past back home, just enough to warm the soul, just enough to let me know I was loved and I was home. Take this memory, spin me back where we used to be, where the air was warm and the future shone like it would never leave. Take this memory, play that ache in a lower key. Let the lost years move like they're still in tune, still in tune with me. Needle drops, night begins, and your name comes singing in. There's a face you make right before you laugh, a little sparkle in the eye, a small intake of breath. The corners of your mouth begin their slow ascent, and there's half a second where the joke isn't quite spent, but you already know it's coming. I watch for that face now, more yourself. The pre-laugh is the truer thing, the quiet hidden wealth of who you are before you let the world hear your delight. That look before you laugh is the most private of your life. The look before you laugh is my favorite thing about you. The look before you laugh is the part nobody else gets to view, because they're listening for the laugh, but I'm watching for the spark. The look before you laugh is the secret of your heart, the secret only I can read. I've learned to time my jokes for that face, not for the sound. The laugh is just the echo of where the joy was found. The joy was found a moment earlier, in your eyes, in your mouth. The look before you laugh is the inhalation of the south, of your beautiful particular soul. The look before you laugh is my favorite thing about you. The look before you laugh is the part nobody else gets to view, because they're listening for the laugh, but I'm watching for the spark. The look before you laugh is the secret of your heart, the secret only I can read. There are 1,000 faces a person makes each day, but this one is so specific that I know it from any angle, from across a crowded room, from a photograph that caught it, the brief beat where the world shifted just before you started laughing, the most beautiful face you make. The look before you laugh is the gift I get most often. The look before you laugh is the thing that's never softened. Through the years of seeing you, through the years of being known, the look before you laugh will follow me wherever I'm shown. Wherever I go, the look before you laugh. Do that again. Wait, hold it, hold it. There it is. There it is. We had a hard one yesterday, voices raised, the wound exposed. And then you said you needed time, and I went quiet to my clothes. But this time something different happened than every other time before. You didn't disappear into the bedroom and lock the conversation behind the door. Came back 2 hours later, with your face still soft, not stone. You said I needed to think, I didn't go away to leave you alone. And the relief that hit my chest was bigger than the fight we'd had, 'cause nobody had ever come back to me without making me sad. You don't punish me with silence, just take the space you need. You don't punish me with silence, or let the quiet bleed into something I have to earn back with apology or grace. You don't punish me with silence, you always tell me where you are. always show your face. I learned from people who would freeze me out for days, sometimes for weeks, who would teach me where I stood by deciding I shouldn't speak. And I came into our love expecting that the silence was a weapon. You taught me silence can be sacred when it's made of breath, not lessons. You don't punish me with silence, you just take the space you need. You don't punish me with silence or let the quiet bleed into something I have to earn back with apology or grace. You don't punish me with silence, you always tell me where you are. You always show your face. The silence I grew up with could last all the way through dinner. The silence you hand me always returns as a winner, because it isn't punishment, it's just thinking time, that's all. And every time you come back open, I trust the space a little more, a little more, a little more. You don't punish me with silence, you don't make me chase the air. You don't punish me with silence, you always come back where I can find you, where you let me. You always do the work. You don't punish me with silence, and that's the safest love I've found, the safest love on earth. You don't punish me with silence. You take your time, and then you come back, and I love you for that. I love you so much for that. Everything is working, and that's exactly what scares me most. When the weather's perfect, I keep scanning for the coast, like happiness owes me an invoice that I can't afford to pay. Like any second now, the universe will come to take this all away. You kissed me this morning, and I flinched not from the touch, but from the thought that something this good must cost too much. I've been trained by history to expect the other shoe, so I hold my breath inside the beautiful instead of letting it come through. I'm scared of how good this is, like the better it gets, the worse it'll end. I'm scared of how good this is, like I don't deserve to feel this again. My chest says run, my heart says stay. My head keeps drafting exits for a fire that's just the warmth of somebody choosing me. And I'm scared of how good this is. You caught me staring in that way
scared of how good this is. But what if this is the one that doesn't come with a but? What if the quiet I keep waiting to shatter is just the sound of enough? What if happiness isn't borrowing time? What if it's mine to own? What if the safest place I've ever been is right here in the unknown? Right here with you. I'm still scared of how good this is, but I'm choosing it anyway. Still scared of how good this is, but I'm done pushing it away. My hands are shaking and my walls are thin, but I'm letting the good rush in. For the first time in my life, I'm not going to ruin it by being afraid of it. Scared of how good this is, but I'm staying in it. I choose this, I choose the good.
You told me something heavy, and I searched for what to say. I opened every drawer inside my mind, and everyone was gray. I have no frame of reference for the thing that's in your chest. I've never been where you've been. I can't map it or compress it. I won't say I understand, because I don't, and that's okay. I won't pretend your weight is something I can take or rearrange. I won't compare my version to a wound I've never worn, but I can clear the space beside me, and I can keep the silence warm. I can't understand your pain, but I can sit in it with you. I can't carry what you're feeling, but I can stay until it's through. I won't look away, I won't rush you to the end. I can't understand your pain, but I can be your closest friend. Right here, right now, right through. You apologized for crying, like your grief was an imposition. I told you that your tears are not a thing that need permission. You don't owe me an explanation. You don't owe me pretty words. You just owe yourself the kindness of being heard without being cured. I can't understand your pain, but I can sit in it with you. I can't carry what you're feeling, but I can stay until it's through. I won't look away, I won't rush you to the end. I can't understand your pain, but I can be your closest friend. Right here, right now, right through. The world wants to fix everything, turn every scar into a lesson learned. But some things don't need a meaning, some things just need to burn. the person in it. I can understand your pain, and I won't pretend I do, but I can hold the edge of everything. While you fall through, I'll be the ground. When you land, I'll be the quiet. When it's loud, I can understand your pain, but I love you enough to sit inside the cloud, to just sit here with you. I'm not going anywhere. You don't have to explain. I'm just here. That's all I know how to do, and I hope it's enough. There were things I used to love, quietly let them go, for partners who needed all of me, or didn't approve of the show. The reading by myself for hours, the Saturday morning runs, the poetry I'd write but never share with anyone. Asked me what I missed on a Tuesday afternoon. You said, I noticed there's a poem book you bought but never opened in your room. And I started talking carefully about the parts I'd shelved away. And you said, babe, those are still you. Why don't you bring them back today? You gave me back my hobbies, the pieces I had lost. You gave me back my hobbies, and you didn't count the cost of me being elsewhere sometimes, of me being inside myself. You gave me back my hobbies, and you put me back on my own shelf. Whole again, whole again. I went on my first long run for the first time in 2 years. You ate dinner without complaining. You said, go take your time, my dear. And I came home and you smiled like you'd been giving me a gift. You gave me back my hobbies, and in doing that, you gave me my lift back to the man I am. You gave me back my hobbies, the pieces I had lost. You gave me back my hobbies, and you didn't count the cost of me being elsewhere sometimes, of me being inside myself. You gave me back my hobbies, and you put me back on my own shelf. Whole again, whole again. I didn't know that love could be a thing that gives you back the pieces of yourself you shelved for someone else's track. You don't need me to be only us. You don't need me to be small. You gave me back my hobbies, and in doing that, gave me all the parts of me I'd missed. You gave me back my hobbies and the man I used to be. You gave me back my hobbies and the version of me that's me is finally complete again. Not despite our love, but through it. You gave me back my hobbies, and every time I'm doing them, I love you twice as full. You gave me back